is critical for us as health and fitness professionals. Now, just real quick, are any of you currently still working in an open gym or fitness center? Go ahead and shoot something over on chat. I'm just curious kind of where we're all at. To the best of my knowledge, everything pretty much worldwide is shut down or should be. There's just too much risk for contamination. Okay, yeah, I figure everybody is working virtually. So, you know, you've probably lost a good amount of your clients. If you haven't, more power to you. That's awesome. And, you know, people, I hate saying cancer. Let's just call them people with cancer as opposed to patients or clients or whatever. People who have been our clients who have had cancer still need us. And it goes beyond just fitness now. It means keeping them on a schedule, keeping them engaged, okay? And that's mentally and physically. Getting in there. I know we've got Heather from Canada on with us, and she is a holistic nutritionist, or I may be saying it wrong, dietitian. She is one of our CETI Canada representatives, she and Hugh. And so she is credentialed to be able to do that, where the rest of us, unless you are a registered dietitian or nutritionist, we should not be giving dietary advice to cancer patients. However, okay, now is an opportunity where we can engage in conversation, basic things like, let's say my client's John. Hey, John, did you get your 8 glasses of water in today? Create a checklist, make people accountable. Go back to just food groups. You know, are you getting your 11 servings of fruits and vegetables? Are you getting enough protein? Because all of these things play a critical role in, you know, improving their immune system. So we've got diet. Are you getting enough sleep? How is your sleep? You know, when are you shutting off the TV? When are you shutting down the news? Because I think that we all have a tendency to, you know, be on our phones constantly. I'm getting tendonitis in my thumbs from, you know, doing this all the time. And the news is changing hour by hour. I think for all of our sakes, we have to get into the pattern of shutting that down a few hours before we want to go to bed. So if you can create maybe a package, you know, the coronavirus keep you healthy and sane package for the next couple months, and maybe create something a little bit different for your existing clients that includes the exercise, you know, maybe meditation, maybe adding some yoga moves or stretches, but an all-encompassing program. Because what we're facing right now is that every fitness person in the world is now giving free this and free that online. Okay, I understand that people don't have money. Well, we don't either. We're not working. So this is not the time to be thinking about charity. And I don't say that in a mean way. By all means, you can give a certain number of hours or do a certain number of videos every week or every month for those who can't afford it. But remember, there are people, and by the grace of God, my husband is one of them, who still has a job, okay? So you guys have to fend for yourself and your families right now. And what I want to do is help you create a way to do that. I want to help you create a number of different mechanisms that you can have some income. And it may not be what we're used to having. Who knows? Maybe we, you know, strike the pot of gold and find something that actually works out better for us all. And to be honest with you, what this time period has done for me, I've definitely, you know, I've got webinars scheduled every day. I never do that. I'm a very hands-on person. But it's also made me realize sometimes that less is more. And you know, there's so much excess in the world that we live in, and we're working and we're working and we're working, and we're not paying attention to our families and ourselves. And this is giving us all an opportunity to kind of look inside and see what's really important. So if I can help you to minimize the amount of time that you have to be away from your house to, you know, kind of compact your working hours and your training, who knows, maybe we all come out better at the end of this. So let's start off. I want to give you something to think about. And I want you to take a couple minutes and maybe jot this down. What makes you special? What separates you from the hundreds of thousands of other trainers that are out there in the world? So think about that. give it a minute or two, and you're welcome to share it in the chat room. If not, I want you to write it at the top of your paper, because this is really what you're going to stem everything else off of. What makes you different? What makes you special? And that could be your story. That could be your education, your skill, you name it. But you decide what that is. What is your special thing? So I would say, if you turn that back on me, my thing, obviously I'm going to start with, I'm a 36-year cancer survivor whose family has been inundated with cancer. And that, I'm reading these, you know, now I'm putting myself on the spot, but I would say 36-year cancer survivor, and I've spent the last 25 years creating programs for health and fitness professionals to empower cancer patients and survivors. And that I've trained more people around the world than anybody else. So those would be like my claim to fame. Terry, anti-diet. I'm assuming that means you're not focusing on diets. Certified personal trainer and a cancer survivor with cancer exercise specialist. Nadine, personal experience as a caretaker, exercising with husband. Many of us have relatives that are either currently going through cancer or we've lost, and that's where our passion has come from. The majority of you guys probably have not said, ooh, I want to work with cancer patients. That sounds really fun. That's not what drives people to this. We have a passion for really help. Yeah, Hugh's saying you live it, you work it, you provide expert knowledge to your client base. You guys are the cream of the crop. Not only do you come with your various credentials, but also the fact that you've gone through the cancer exercise specialist training. And I can tell you firsthand that our materials are the most current of any others out there. And there's certain things I can't tell you that are going on. They're really good. And hopefully when we get through this, it's going to benefit all of us. So hopefully you've all got something written down on paper, and that's kind of the top of your pyramid, if you will. The next thing I want you to write down are all of your social media channels. So if you've got an IG account, Instagram, Facebook, if you've got a YouTube channel account, I want you to write that on the next line. Twitter, Snapchat, any of those. I mostly use Facebook for like my day-to-day kind of chatty things. And then LinkedIn, I do all of my professional posting. I don't think LinkedIn is very accepting of personal stories per se, unless you can tie your personal story into why you're doing what you're doing. Okay, so you've got your personal, one sentence, here's who I am and why I'm the best and why you should seek me out. Then you've got your list below that of your different social media avenues. Now, does anybody already have a Facebook group set up? Okay, any of you have a Facebook group? So I'm not talking about a Facebook page, Andrea Leonard. I'm talking cancer survivors workout or dog park exercise group, something like that. Anybody have one of those? Okay, good, Terry. Yes, great, Maria. Okay, so we've got kind of a mix there. And you may think of a different one. So here's what I'm working on this week. And I want you to think about this and think about how you can spin this into your own show, if you will. Starting next week, I'm doing what's called Cancer Exercise Training Launchpad. And I'm going to be giving lots of free information. So every day there's kind of a different subject. So as I'm saying this, I want you guys to think about how you can apply this to yourselves, or even kind of copy the same format, if you will. So I am going to be talking about, why should a fitness professional get involved in working with cancer patients? What are the benefits of exercise for cancer patients and survivors, so from treatment to long-term survivorship. and what this means as a fitness professional, so on and so forth. And so I will do this for a week. And at the end of the week, those that are interested in more will go into another group. They're going to go to the Cancer Exercise Training University. And many of you guys are already registered for that. And then that is the paid course. So what I want you to think about, so let's say, for example, Maria. And Maria is doing coaching, and we're going to get Maria on one of these webinars also. We're talking about translating this to Spanish and taking this to South America and all kinds of good stuff. So let's say Maria wants to do coaching for cancer, and Maria starts this Facebook group called Coaching for Cancer. What she is then going to do is going to come up with a number of different, let's say, stories or pictures with a story attached to it that you can cross-market on Instagram, Facebook. So we want to get a lot of cross traffic, if you will. Okay, and I'll share it with you guys also. At the end of this, I'll share some of these things and my pitches that you can use. So now Maria's goal is going to get everybody she can who's not already a client into this particular cancer coaching group. And the way to do that is go to your existing network. That can be Facebook, IG, LinkedIn, and write individual invitations. So, John, this is Maria. How are you? I hope you're doing well during this difficult time. I wanted to let you know I'm launching a new group called Cancer Coaching, and it begins next week. It's going to be for a week, every morning from 10 to 11, and I'm going to talk about all different ways to manage your stress, to increase your energy levels, so on and so forth. And you start getting people into this group. So we want to fill this Facebook group. I just got one from Robin, like live Facebook videos. That's exactly what we're doing. So in this group, everything's going to be live. So from 11 to 12, I'm going to be live. But if you have an empty group, it doesn't do you any good. So you guys are going to have to use this time to, the time that you would be at the gym right now, whether you were working out yourself or training clients. Now you're going to get behind the scenes and really start to market yourself. But the beauty of this is going to carry over afterwards, right? I mean, when life gets back to normal, whatever that normal is, I hope that you have tools that are going to help make you even that much more robust in your training. And everything still applies, except right now, we're not really worrying about medical referrals because nobody's in that mindset right now. So we are going to rely on social media right now. And so you have to go for your group and you have to give. You have to give something. We're building a community. So imagine this. You're colonizing your mine would be America, it could be Europe, could be Africa, Asia, whatever. You're colonizing your continent, and you get there and you own all the land. You have everything. And this is really how it all started anyway. So you invite everybody to come and live on your land free of charge. And for a certain period of time, you're going to give them electricity, you're going to give them food, you're going to give them building supplies and help them build their home. So you're building this sense of community, and that's what we're doing in these Facebook groups, or whatever other type of group that you can do. It could be, well, it can't be in person, but it could be more of a personal friend group as well, but via Zoom. Okay, so we're creating this relationship. I feel like I have a relationship with each and every one of you, even though many of us have never met. But we've had interchange and exchange of ideas through the internet. Many of you I've spoken to on the phone, emails, all of those things. So I feel like I have a relationship with you. And even if I've never met you, I want to help you. I want to help you succeed. And hopefully, even though you've never met me, you want the same for me. So if I said, Annie, would you be willing to share this post with 10 of your closest friends? That you're going to want to, because I'm helping you, you're helping me, we're all in this together. So you want to rely on the people that you already know to help you spread the message. You're going to create this sense of community. So then you can say, all right, well, I'm super stoked. We had this great week together. I hope you guys learned things. But look, now what I'm going to do is I am going to launch for the next 2 months, Monday through Friday from 10 to 11. I'm going to do this comprehensive accountability course. So we're going to talk nutrition. We're going to talk sleep. We're going to talk motivation. We're going to talk wellness. We're going to do exercise. And I'm giving you, you know, a broad picture. You could keep it just exercise. But I go back to the fact that there are so many things they can get for free on just exercise. How can you make this different? What are you going to do to get people to come to your group? And then even when they come to the free group, how are you getting them into the paid group? So you want to have an abundance of information, and maybe you guys, maybe it's different exercises. Maybe you're breaking out your Zumba, you're breaking out your BOSUs, your bands, whatever, and you're having a variety so that every day there's something different. And maybe you have challenges, maybe you have homework. Get them engaged because you have to create the value. When I work with clients hands-on, one of the things from the time I was a baby trainer was doing manual stretching, because the hands-on touch creates this bond, if you will, and it's also something that people can't do without you. So anybody can create or imitate a workout that you give them. And so in order to have clients long-term, you have to keep changing it all the time to get results, and also to keep them kind of interdependent on you. And then you also can do things like that they need you for, like stretching. And that's what creates a long-term client. So that does not change because we are all online now. What are you going to do to create that value? And I'm looking at these comments as they come in. Thank you, Lori. I appreciate that. She says I'm appreciated, and that means a lot to me. You guys mean a lot to me. So all right, so think about what can you offer? What can you offer in this free group? So you've got the list of all of the different social media avenues that you have, and then you want to create this Facebook group that, you know, you'll invite people into, and you get all your likes, and you can do your live videos. There are a couple things that you can use for just graphics and whatnot. Canva, C-A-N-V-A, and Poster My Wall. So those are two that I've been using, and there's some really cool things. You know, they'll have it already in the format for like IG or Facebook. So it's in the square, and you put your own pictures in, and then they have moving backgrounds. Keep in mind that most viewers are going to respond to video as opposed to just writings. I mean, I posted something yesterday, and if you haven't seen it, it's hysterical, on if somebody from the future, you know, came back or something like that about, you know, what they talk about 2020. And hardly anybody looked at it because you just see text. And I think naturally we look at that and just go. But if you do like a 1 sentence and keep it short, and you've got a video that backs it up, that has more clout, if you will, than just writing things. So, you know, what I would also want to know from you guys is, do you have a website? And or the ability to do a blog, because that all goes back into it. You want to do as much as you can in your blog that is part of your website. So that's where you want to write all of your long articles. And then you just put the link to that along with your picture. So if you guys ever notice, if you read the newsletters or you see any of my postings, everything links back to the blog. So you're driving more traffic to your website. Now, you know, this is just, I'm giving you just a lot of general information, and I do individual one-on-one, you know, coaching and business planning and all that as well. If you're like, you know what, Andrea, I want to spend an hour with you, and I want you to just tell me exactly what to do, we can do that. But I want you to at least get your, you know, the wheels turning in your head today, so that you can be starting to think of these things. Do you have a website? Do you have a blog? Okay. Then, do you have Facebook? Do you have LinkedIn? Do you have Instagram? I haven't found Twitter to be incredibly helpful for what I do. You can try it. I know the younger generation is using Snapchat. Um, I guess maybe I'm not that savvy, and I'm definitely not that young. Um, okay, good question. So Robin wants to know, when you do one-on-one, how do you do assessments online? That's an awesome question. If you guys aren't familiar with Posture Screen, Google it. It's an app you can download. It's a nominal fee, like $40 for a year. And you will actually have your clients, wherever they're at, they can take a picture. I think that they would probably download the app. Somehow you share it with them, and their husband, wife, kid can take a picture, and the app will actually do the whole postural analysis. And they even have it where they can do body composition and all of those things for you. However, let me see if I can, I would set this up better, because obviously you can only see, part of me, but maybe you have me do just like we're doing in real life. And you have, let me be wonky right now. And you can look and you can see that my right shoulder is elevated or my head is tilted. There are certain things you're going to see from the front. So then you're also going to want to have your client stand sideways. And you can see that I'm anterior tilt and anterior tilt. So you can actually do a postural assessment visually, just like that. It's just going to take a little bit more work, okay? And you may have to move the camera along. Yes, that was called Posture Screen, and there are probably some other ones as well. Somebody, I won't mention your name, has insecurities around presentations. How do you get better at that? Maybe if you guys would like, because I feel like we're kind of a family here, if we can figure out how to do this interactive webinar thing where we can all work together and see each other's faces, what if we practice presentations with one another? Because I feel like this is a safe zone. We're all in the same position. You guys are all coming from this, we're on the same path, same journey. So I don't know if that would be helpful, or if you guys want to practice with me, but honestly, practice, practice, practice. If anybody is in the same age group as I am, if you're in your 20s, you may remember, I know, right? Looking good. If you remember the Brady Bunch, you guys don't have to laugh that hard. Come on. I know the Botox is wearing off and the roots are coming in. Like a month from now, I'm going to be like this. Anyway, there's a show called The Brady Bunch, for those of you who don't know what it is, and it's like in the 70s, and Marsha Brady she's going on live TV, and the light goes on, and she just goes, and so it's kind of a joke, like don't do a Marsha Brady. And so what they tell her is just imagine everybody out there in their underwear. And I think probably the biggest crowd I spoke to was last October when I got the Personal Trainer of the Year award. I was at Club Industry, and there were 1,000 people. And I mean, these are club owners, doctors, kind of the big guys. And I was like, I purposely didn't wear heels because I was afraid I was going to fall on my face walking on the stage. But you have to try and fake or make eye contact, because if you're just reading a script or, staring at one person, you're not engaging the audience. So for me, I try and be unscripted, because if I have to read a script or memorize something, I suck. I mean, I cannot memorize stuff. But if you speak from your heart, and when you're working with cancer patients, okay, we want to really be sincere, okay? And there are a number of us on here today who have fought the good fight or are currently fighting it, and I know you'll understand what I'm talking about. We don't want to be capitalizing on this group of people. But at the same time, and I was thinking about this the other day, has anybody ever said to you, wow, you're training diabetics or you're training people with Alzheimer's and you charge them for that? That's really messed up. I guarantee you no one has ever said that. Yet, if you're training a cancer patient, somebody might say, that's messed up. Why would you take money from a cancer patient? And you know, I'm speaking from someone who had cancer, and my whole family's had it. Do I believe in capitalizing on a group of people who are hurting for money, emotionally? Of course not. We're providing a service, just like a doctor, just like a nurse, just like a psychiatrist. We are providing a service. And I think that when you are confident in what you're giving, okay, and a lot of you are new at this, whether you're, you know, new at being a trainer or new at being a cancer exercise specialist, but when you feel really good about what you're doing, and you know, hey, I do this much pro bono, and I'm not ever going to turn anybody away. I guess what I'm getting at is it gives you that je ne sais quoi, if you will, because your confidence is going to show through when you're speaking to people. Okay. Hugh just said, I'm not taking anything from a cancer patient. They're paying for a service they want. Even though we all know this is necessary, unfortunately, it's still not quite considered mandatory yet. I think Australia is probably the closest of anybody. But getting back to doing these presentations, I'm more than happy to have practice sessions, to give pointers, and you know, you guys can contact me on your own. If you don't know my email address, where can I type in here? Okay, I'm typing it in here. You guys can email me and let me know if you're interested, and I'll set that up for you. You can also email me if you want to do one-on-one coaching. But again, getting back to what is going to bring people to you. They don't want to look at a picture. They don't want to look at a lot of writing. If you can get into the habit of every single morning, you do a 1-minute video, all right? 1 minute, that's it. That's all anybody wants to see, and give something of value. So what if it's just, hey, you guys, this is Andrea Leonard. I'm a 36-year cancer survivor. I hope you're taking care of yourself. I just wanted to start this morning by showing you a chest opening stretch that is going to be awesome to correct muscle imbalances. Most of us are hunched over the computer, and you know, we're sitting around watching TV. So I want you to start off, if you are a cancer patient or survivor recovering from breast cancer, just start off by putting your arms behind you, sticking your chest out, squeezing a tennis ball between your shoulder blades. If that does not cause you any pain, put your hands behind your head and gently squeeze back. And for anybody who this is still too easy, go ahead and stand up in between a door jamb, lean forward, keeping your head in alignment and your hips tucked under. Hold that stretch for 30 to 60 seconds. Add this to your daily routine, and I guarantee you it's going to help you have better posture, breathe better, and have more energy. I'll see you tomorrow. This is Andrea Leonard with the Cancer Exercise Training Institute. Have an awesome day. Boom, done. So in that, probably less than a minute, you're not seeing the email address. I don't know where it went, but it's Empower, EMPOWER, Empower Survivor, SURVIVOR, all together, Empower Survivor at earthlink.net. And it's also on the cancerspecialist.com website if you want to hit me up through there. But getting back to that little blurb I just did, in less than 1 minute, I gave my name twice. I stated that I'm a cancer survivor, okay? So I've got that personal story there. And then at the end, I also reiterated what my business was. So that's what you want to do. Start making content. And when you do that video, if you guys have an iPhone, and I don't know if you have a Samsung how you do this, but I'm sure there's a way. You're going to take that video, save it, and then upload it to what's it called? iMovie, okay? And in iMovie, it's so easy, and I can also teach you guys how to do this. You can cut, and you can, you know, paste and make it look prettier. You can add some music, and then you can put a title there. Once you have that in iMovie, you're gonna upload it to your YouTube channel. So if you do not have a YouTube channel, today, I want you guys to start yourself a YouTube channel. It's critical. It is critical for your business, and especially if you want to do this online. Get a YouTube channel. That's the #1 thing. Okay, yes, if you use music, it has to be royalty free. So as much as I'd like to use my playlist, I can't. On iMusic, it gives you like 6 choices. You know, one is like vacation, one is news, one is, you know, light and bubbly. And sometimes I just use that. And, you know, if somebody wants to do my routine, they can put their own music on and just watch what my moves are. All right. But I know that there are certain places that are giving a certain amount of royalty-free music right now. So check that out. But let's take it down. My mom called me right before this and said, Andrea, nobody is doing 5-minute workouts for old people. And so let's take this beyond just cancer, because really we've got comorbidities, we've got osteoporosis, we've got diabetes, we've got heart disease. And then a lot of cancer patients are also, you know, in a higher age group. So, you know, they're not going to go do these beach body workouts and whatever else, you know, everybody's giving away for free. So what if you guys start your own group and start with like your parents and your aunts and uncles and get them to share it with their friends and just do like a 5-minute morning breathing exercise. It can be very simple. Okay, somebody's saying there is an easier app for video editing called CuteCut. I'm not familiar with it, but I'll share that with everybody. And like I said, we can have ongoing videos or whatever these are, webinars, and we can explore these things together and help to edit. But let's just kind of go through this list again. Who are you and why should someone hire you? What makes you better, different, more in demand than anybody else? That's kind of your headline. Then do you have all your social media groups set up? And if you do not have a YouTube channel, I want you to start a YouTube channel today. And you are going to start putting all of your videos, I don't care if they're 30 seconds or 60 seconds, into that YouTube channel. And you can go to my, you know, Cancer Exercise YouTube channel and look at some of the things I've done on lower extremity lymph drainage, upper extremity lymph drainage. This is a hot topic right now because, you know, we talk about it as it applies to working with cancer patients and lymphedema. But remember, the immune system protects our body against infection and other harmful agents. It's basically the trash can of our body. Well, with coronavirus right now, we're dealing with the same thing in that anybody whose immune system is compromised is at a higher risk for coronavirus. So why not put this all together? It doesn't have to just be about cancer. It can be about, you know, creating a healthier immune system. And do your research, read some of the articles in the blog on thecancerspecialist.com that I've written in the last couple of weeks, which are all about enhancing the immune system. Well, the lymphatic drainage exercises that you guys have in your books are good for anybody. It's not just somebody who's at risk for lymphedema. Bouncing on a mini tramp. I've been doing a couple videos with that. It is more effective than jogging, but it doesn't have the same, you know, obviously impact. And it's amazing for the lymphatic system. So if we can get people to bounce on a mini tramp for 10 minutes a day, that will actually help to stimulate their immune system. And when we get people producing more white blood cells and, you know, their bodies are working more efficiently, they're less likely to get disease. So there are a lot of different things you guys can think about now that's interesting subject matter. It doesn't have to just be cancer. But once you get this YouTube channel set up, I want you to start making videos. Try and keep them under 10 minutes, but kind of 5 to 10 minutes is the sweet spot. When I make them longer than that, I notice I don't get as many views because people probably just don't have that attention span or it's too much for them. So start to script out, you know, what you can do, what different topics and what's appealing. Right now, people are concerned about their health. They're probably not worried about their 6-packs. They're probably not worried about their ripped muscles. I mean, I know some of us are still thinking that, but we want to make sure that they're not destroying everything they've already done because it's so easy. You know, you have a choice right now. You can be very physically active if you get out and walk. I mean, you're limited to what you have at home. Or you can go the other direction and become a Netflix junkie and make cookies all day. So if we can be that accountability partner, and that's a great term, I'm your accountability partner. So every morning we're going to check in every morning. I want you to send me what you ate for breakfast. Every afternoon, I want to know what you ate for lunch. I want to know what you're eating for dinner. I want to know how many hours of sleep you've gotten. I want to know if you went number 2 today. And if not, you're not getting enough fiber in your diet. And maybe you guys can connect with Heather on here for nutrition. And maybe it's something like where we can all share our services. So maybe one of us has a skill that somebody else maybe does not. And that's another great thing. What if we post on each other's social media, Facebook's, LinkedIn's, whatever. Now, you might go, well, we're in competition. Are we really? I mean, like, there aren't enough people out there. And Heather just put her email, you guys, on there, heather@medexon.com. And then she's in Canada. You guys are like even more than the Eastern time zone, I think. But anyway, what if, yes, elevate each other. Exactly. We're all in this together. And we've got, by 2030, 23 million people living with cancer. That's not even the newly diagnosed ones every year. There is enough for everybody to go around. God help us, unfortunately, right? And even if they find a cure for cancer, we're still going to have millions of people that need help. So what if I'm a guest speaker on Alvin's live Facebook? What if Heather's a guest speaker on my live Facebook? That's awesome, because that's something of value for my audience. If I bring Heather in over the next month for you guys to talk about nutrition, how awesome is that? So let's have some interaction after this as you guys come up with your own ideas or things that you would like to see. Please email me and let me know, and I'll arrange for all of this. But so once you have your YouTube channel, you have your Facebook, your personal page, you may also have a business page, but these are personal accounts. What I'm talking about, aside from those, is setting up a Facebook group. So you're going to think about whatever that title is, 5 minutes to fabulous, personal accountability through coronavirus, whatever you want to call it. And that's going to be your freebie group. Then you can also think about, what the next step is. So maybe you create 2 groups, and the second group, which is going to be a paid registration, but that group is where, you'll have a schedule, you have 2 or 3 different workouts a day, that they have access to meal planning, they have access to, yoga, meditation, whatever. You can decide what that looks like. And you're going to be driving people from the free group to the paid group. So that's where at the end of the free group, you want to close the deal and get people in. You guys have to have a way to take money. Now, when you're in person, obviously cash, check, and you can do credit card if you have. I use Square Up, good, bad, indifferent. That's what I have on my phone. But the easiest thing for me is to just have it on my website. So you have Stripe or PayPal. So when you get people in these paid groups, you give them the link from your website so that they can register through there. That way you're not having to do this constantly asking people for money, asking people for payment. If somebody asks me, how do they get into CETI University? I give them the link so that they pay and then they're admitted into the group. And so these are all business, I don't know if you'd call them skills, acumen, whatever, that you need to have if you're going to have an online business. Okay. And this is just the start. I mean, I can get into course creation and all kinds of other things with you guys, but I want to start with just the fundamentals today. So think about building a website. You don't have to spend $5,000 or $6,000. You can do it through, I think, Google. You can do it through GoDaddy. They're not that expensive. And God knows if I can figure it out, you guys can. And once again, we can help each other. Maybe somebody can trade this for that. So set up your web page, get a blog going. I'm doing at least 2 blog posts every week. So I now have a newsletter. And if you guys are not looking at it, every week, I make sure that there's always something of value for you in there. Okay, so I usually have 2 articles in every newsletter, but I put them on my blog so that every time somebody is opening up the newsletter and reading the post, it's going to my website, which is raising me up higher, you know, in the Google whatever search engine thing. And that the rules change all the time for that. Wix, yes, thank you, Nadine, wix.com. I did do a website through there as well. SEO, that's what I was talking about, search engine optimization. Definitely not a techie person. Nope, that is not me. But I've faked it till I maked it, so to speak. And I've done my website and I've done my YouTube channel, and God knows it's been a painful experience. So I want to try and keep you guys from having to go through all that, because I've been at this. I started the cancer exercise stuff in 1995. Some of you may not have even been born. My blog address, that's a really good question. I don't know if I have a blog address because it's on my website. So it's thecancerspecialist.com. And then, you know, of course, on the side are all the blog entries. And if there is an actual blog address, Eduardo, maybe you can help me find it, because I don't know. I just send people to the website. Thank you, Robin, about the NASM article. Okay, so Lori's talking about, for websites, you can try squarespace.com for as little as $18 a month. Group on what they are using for virtual sessions. Yeah, okay, so anyway, before I go into that, Terry, let's make sure, you know, that you have all of those things. Get set up with a YouTube channel. Think about what your Facebook groups can be, what's your free group, what's your paid group, and then we can even set up another webinar next week and talk about, you know, what you're going to do to drive people into that. So Terry is asking, what is everybody using for virtual sessions? Are you using Facebook? Are you using Zoom? Are you using Skype? So if anybody wants to chime in the chat room, that would be awesome. Okay, I see Zoom. FaceTime, Zoom, WhatsApp's awesome. And then, you know, you can have the ability to communicate with anybody in the world. Now, one of the issues, of course, is that a lot of our older clients still don't know how to use these things. So perhaps they can have one of their kids help out the first time around, which I'm sure they'd be willing to do. You know, get the camera set up and everything. And I'm not saying this is easy. At first, there's going to be a lot of fumbling around, you know, trying to get them centered in the picture and whatnot. But with practice, you will get it. I have a tripod for my camera. So when I'm filming a video, I've got it on the tripod. I can make sure that I'm centered. Zoom has free memberships up to 30-minute meetings. Yeah, I think you can have 45 people. And even for the paid Zoom, it's not that bad. Now, another thing we can look at, I wonder if we couldn't get an account where maybe we could do a group membership where many people or some people could share the same membership, cutting down on that. But we know that FaceTime's free. Obviously, you have to have an iPhone for that. And WhatsApp is awesome. So if you don't have that, download that onto your phone. Yeah, Zoom, $14.95 a month. So not too bad at all. So have any of you had success in the last couple weeks that you would like to share with the group on what's worked effectively for you as far as getting your clients to continue to train with you? Yeah, the amount of traffic can definitely affect things. But is anybody having great success? Anything that you want to share? Posting videos on YouTube channel. So back to the YouTube channel. People want videos. They want quick little videos. And then you take the link to your video from the YouTube channel. You know, you get a still shot or just like a snippet of your video that you can use on Instagram or Facebook. It has to be less than a minute. At least on Instagram, and then come join me, check out my videos, send them to your YouTube channel. Checking in with current clients, do live Facebook workout sessions on my business page. Okay, you've got to check in. You have to maintain that relationship, because here's the worst thing. It's not just a matter of making money right now and keeping your income flowing. It's that if you don't continue this relationship, when we do go back to work, you're going to have lost those clients, because it's like anything else, out of sight, out of mind. And so even if you're not training them right now, make sure you're checking in on them once a week. How you doing? Da, 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 da. Keep that relationship going, or you will be starting all over when you get done. Older ladies are showing up for my Facebook Live, a lot of Facebook Live. So that goes back to, again, that first group that I'm telling you to create on Facebook, which is a freebie. And you do your lives, you do your different workouts, you can create a schedule. And then, you know, but I would create, while you have them in there, create something for them to want more. You know, talk to them just like I'm talking to you. What do you guys want? What can I do for you? What can I provide? What service are you needing? And I'll put that out to you guys. Do you want help building a website? Do you need help establishing your YouTube channel, setting up your Facebook accounts? What do you need help with? Sent text messages to past current clients, letting them know that I'm launching virtual training sessions. Awesome, keeping them in the loop. Yeah, that's a great hook. Tomorrow's workout's going to be, and keep it changing. What about stuff like getting a workout in while you're cooking dinner and teaching them how to do push-ups on the counter, how to modify it, you know, how to bring your arms closer for triceps, further apart for, you know, to do more chest, how they can do lunges and squats and butt squeezes while they're cooking dinner. Do you share the workout ahead of time or keep it a surprise? Why not do both? Maybe sometimes it's like, hey, you guys, I'm doing a step class tomorrow. I know a lot of you don't have steps, but blah, 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 blah. Or, you know, you may not have a BOSU, but we're still going to work on balance, and you can teach them options to do on the floor. And then tomorrow's potluck, you know, show up. This is going to be an intermediate level workout. So if you're just getting started, this probably isn't for you. Lighting and microphone. So there are little microphone attachments that you can put on your phones if you're using your phones. Lighting, if you can, even doing it outdoors. I know climate-wise that may vary. I did one outside on the trampoline last week, and it was awesome because I had a nice background. It was sunny out. So I hope you guys are reading the chat, because people are posting, yeah, positivity vibes. Let's think about everybody's state of mind right now. I don't think there's anyone out there who's not a little bit worried, if not a lot worried. You know, I wasn't worried at all 3 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, I started going, huh. But I was about to get on a plane to Australia and go, oh, well, if I get it, I'll get better. It's okay. Now, I'm not so sure about that. So think about the state of mind of the people that we are talking to. And so Susan just wrote safety cues. Yes, yes. Let's get very fundamental, okay? Think about a lot of your audience is going to be older. So balance, injury prevention, disease prevention. What about cooking healthy snacks? Even though we're not nutritionists, dietitians, cooks, nothing wrong with showing somebody how to make a healthy alternative to whatever, ice cream. Teach them how to make coconut milk ice cream, you know, with fresh fruit and whatnot. Maybe have a menu sharing thing. Create a group that is accountable to each other. Just like you've got like the mommy and me groups and what have you. Yeah, fall risk prevention class. That's a good one. Test drive your video, make a video, see if you can follow your own workout. So if you guys look at my trampoline videos, I think I posted 3 or 4 of them last week. You'll see the first one, I broke it down to basic moves. The second one, I added a little bit more, but I kept going back to the basic moves, and I showed kind of what I called low impact or high impact. And consider that each of the people in your group may be operating at a different level. So it's just like I showed you with the chest stretch. And if for those of you who've been in my live workshops, I've shown you how to do these modifications. And if you are already completed the CES course or currently doing it, you are welcome to attend the CETI University, which is going to be a fast track class starting April 13th through May 8th, finishing in the exam that weekend. And I'm going to go through everything. So it'll be as close to a live workshop as possible. So hit me up if you want to join. You are welcome to share my videos. Absolutely. And that is an honor. Okay. So if any of you guys have stuff to share, I am more than happy to share it to any of my groups. I'm happy to feature each and every one of you. you know, on a weekly basis. Hey, this is my cancer exercise specialist. She's also a nutritionist. She's also this, that, and the other. My Facebook page name, my personal one is Andrea Barris, B as in boy, E-R-E-S as in Sam, Leonard. That's my personal one. Then I have CETI, which is Cancer Exercise Training Institute. And then there's also Cancer Exercise Training Institute Canada. And then the Cancer Exercise Training University is just that, Cancer Exercise Training University, and you can put in a request to join that group. Okay, so I've kind of blurted out a whole lot of information. So let me wrap this up for today by going back to that piece of paper, okay? Many pieces of paper. This is my new life. I want you to think of kind of what your branding is, and that goes back to who are you, what makes you so special, why should someone come to you instead of doing the free workout online. Also think about using hashtags. So what are your hashtags? Hashtag balance, hashtag immunocompromisation, hashtag health, hashtag wellness, hashtag senior citizens, hashtag active aging, functional aging, so on and so forth, so that people find you. Cross promote, so use your different Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube to share the same articles, and let's cross promote each other. Polls and surveys, engage your audience, just like I'm trying to do, you know, with you guys. Okay, you guys, tell me what you're doing here. And each time somebody pops up, I'm trying to interface with you and say, you know, hey, Maria, hey, Caitlin, I want to say Maki, but I don't know exactly how to pronounce your name. So if I'm botching it up, I apologize. But have that interaction. Oh, awesome. Okay. So I got it right. So every time somebody likes you, hey, thanks for liking my page, create that relationship, respond to comments. And I have to admit, I've been terrible about that. And now I've gone back through all my old comments and started writing people. Hopefully it's not too little too late. Ask 10 people to post your stuff. And that can be us. We can share each other's stuff. Putting stories on other people's platforms. So like Frank McKenna, my famous Virginia Beach lung cancer survivor extraordinaire. We're gonna have Frank on next Friday talking about his story, his personal story, and what compelled him to do this and his own journey. And those are great things. We can all, you know, learn from each other and use each other's expertise. Sorry, I'm reading things as they're coming in here. Thank you, Lori. So that goes into stories of others on their platforms. Giveaways for referrals. Now, I have stuff that doesn't necessarily cost money to buy. So remember, your time is money. Buying t-shirts, buying water bottles, those are all money. But think about kind of something reasonable and what it's worth to you, so that if somebody gives you a referral and it turns into a client, you know, maybe you give them a free session or something to that effect. But you don't have to do that forever, but at least to generate business right now. And then use your Facebook and your Instagram for messaging and start reaching out. I don't know 90% of the people in my groups. So I have an opportunity to meet a lot of people all over the world. And like I said, you know, we've got people all over the world on this Zoom call today. Sherry just said movement helps mental health as well. Absolutely. So I go back to saying during this time, we can either be depressed, fearful, alone, or we can use this time to move, to get healthier than ever, to cook and learn how to eat right. You know, I think we should have Heather on, and maybe Heather can do a nutrition Zoom, and all of us can share that. And are you charging different for cyber sessions? Yeah, donate $1 for each referral to Cancer Society. That's awesome. So this is something, and I don't necessarily have an exact answer. Do we charge less for cyber sessions? Really, your time is your time. So whether it's an hour in person or an hour cyberly, it shouldn't make a difference. But what I would consider right now is that a lot of people are out of work. So what's your bottom line? And, you know, don't make it sound like you're desperate. Just be like, you know what? I understand this is a tough time for everybody, so I'm going to do this special and maybe really focus on the group training, but don't undersell yourself, okay? So you kind of figure out other ways to make more money, like small group training. So maybe you only charge $15 a person, but you're still making $60. So maybe what you say to somebody is, hey, look, I'm willing to work with you. I know we're all having a tough time, but is there anybody who might be willing to train with you, which will help you out and help me out? And everybody, we're all in this. I don't care where we're at. Every single person in the world is going through the same thing right now. Nobody is carefree unless you're a billionaire. And, you know, I'm sure they have their problems too, but they're quarantined in nicer houses with swimming pools and movie theaters. Oh, well. So get your YouTube channel, get your website, get your blog. I will post something. I will post a recap on the Cancer Exercise Specialist group as soon as we hang up. I'll give you kind of a task list. So make sure you look at that rather than me having to email everybody. And please let me know what I can do for you. What can we do to help one another? It has been my absolute pleasure. It gives me actually chills because I know we're all in this together, and we all, even on a crappy time of our lives, still want to help other people who are suffering more. So I hope to be able to actually see your faces. And if anybody knows how to do this and can help me next time, happy to schedule another one next week. And let's have some follow through, because this does nothing if you guys aren't able to utilize it. So I love you all, and keep doing the good work. And I will do another follow-up webinar next week, so start thinking about questions, but I want to see some movement, okay? So get those wheels in motion. And I'm going to stay here for a couple more minutes. If anybody has any specific questions, feel free. Hugs and kisses to you guys too. Stay well, please. And I'll hang tight here for another couple minutes if anybody has any questions. Otherwise, I'll talk to you guys later. Finish my drink. Bye, Susan. Say hi to everyone in Singapore. Thanks, Paula. Also, Maria, let's get your webinar scheduled. There you go. Pro Solitude. I drove through Arizona the other day, Barbara, and thought of you. Next time I'll stop by and say hi. Caitlin, I think smartphone and a tripod, honestly, are great. You can get a little mic attachment, and dear God, everything is so cheap right now. You can get on Amazon, just go to the one that they say is like, you know, Amazon's choice. But honestly, if you can project your voice, you should be just fine. Nobody's expecting perfection. They're happy to just have that FaceTime with you. You're welcome, Caitlin. Talk to you next week, Frank. Stay well. Thanks, Barry. Talk to you next week. Bye, Sherry. Awesome. Okay, Maria, just text me and let me know when we can do a coaching webinar, and we'll set it up. We'll just get it scheduled. Awesome, Heather. Awesome, Heather. Q. Okay, I'm writing this down. Follow up with Maria and Heather. What are you going to do, Hugh? All right, you guys, I'm going to sign off. Bye, Pauline. Go fishing. All right, hasta la vista. We'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.